Hello everyone, it's Nicola at NJM Counselling and Hypnotherapy. I'm hoping that you can all hear me. Whoever comes on live first, hopefully they'll give me a little bit of a thumbs up to see whether they can hear me or not, because I'm using my new, well, it's not new actually, it's very old, well, not very old, but it's old microphone, but it just helps. So man, it's flipping freezing out here today, so you're gonna have to who's that on there? Who can I see? If you're on live right now, can you just give me a thumbs up to let me know that you can hear me okay, please? Any thumbs up will do. Maybe I can't see it. Maybe I can't see a thumbs up. Do you know what? I'm going to go with it, because if you can't hear me, then you'll just switch off, I'm sure. Oh, Laura's saying hello. Hello, my lovely. How are you? I was just explaining that I've got a new microphone on that I didn't know if it was working or not. So I brought Poppy out for a walk on this bloody glorious day, although it's flipping freezing out here. So you're going to have to excuse the woolly hat. You're going to have to excuse the snotty nose and the sniffing that might happen in a little while. But I thought to myself, do you know what? I have not been live in my group for ages, and it's about time that I start giving you all a little bit of love back. So it's getting to that frantic time of year, isn't it? And so I just thought I'd just check in and see how everybody is, how everybody's doing. And I think what's been really interesting for me over these last couple of weeks is, with this beautiful weather that we've been having, I've been managing to get myself, it's gorgeous out here, look. Absolutely beautiful. Look, it's like a summer's day, but just in the freezing cold. Is that I've been managing to get myself out for quite a lot of dog walks, and I've been going but without my headphones, because I've got those not ear pads or whatever they're blooming called, but cheaper versions of them. I've got them, and I kept forgetting to recharge them up. So I'd come out, and it was lovely walking with nothing, but I really missed my music, and I realised how much I actually really love music. So I've charged my earpods up, and I've been out and I've been blasting some tunes while I've been walking, and it's made me realise just that how I know that some songs can be an anchor to rubbish stuff in our lives, but actually sometimes they can be really positive and really uplifting for us. So I was wondering what your uplifting songs were. I know mine is I was going to say Grenade then, that's not Grenade, that's Bruno Mars, isn't it? It's Titanium. And I know that if I'm feeling a bit rubbish or a little bit of self-esteem's on the low, you know, and I'm feeling a bit wibbly wobbly, then I just take myself out and blast that out inside of me for a couple of rounds, you know, and just fill that me back up again. And it's really important to do. So I'm kind of thinking today that maybe I can set you all a challenge to go and find a really powerful song that just gets your mojo back, that just kind of lifts you up a little bit and gives you that inner strength to know that no matter what's going on for you right now, you know, with a little bit of positivity and a little bit of good music vibes in the background, you can make yourself feel really good. Honestly, give it a go. It's absolutely amazing. And I've also been doing a lot of reflection on next year, where next year comes, because it's crazy we're at the end of this year. It's been so busy for me. Apologies, I'm not looking at the camera. I'm trying to work out where I'm going. It's been so busy for me. So thank you to absolutely every single one of my clients that have been recommending me and booking in sessions. And I really can't believe that we're near the end of the year and the diary is practically full till the end. Well, I'm finishing on the 16th of December, so it's practically full to the end there. And this time last year, if you'd have asked me that, I'd have said no chance. That's never going to happen. And, you know, that little bit of imposter syndrome and that fear of not getting this business right, but taking that plunge in July and actually deciding that I was going to stand on my own 2 feet and I was going to make this work has been the best thing that I've done. So thank you to you all for keeping me so busy. I know there's a few of you that I've still got to come back to, and I'm really sorry. I'm doing my best to get through to everyone, but I'm also trying to look forward to next year to see how I can improve things. I'm doing some new training at the moment, which I will bring to you all in another live or in some posts that I'm going to do, which is really exciting to be able to deliver that training. And we'll still be working the way that we are. So yes, the next year looks really exciting. I'm really excited about it, and just looking at new ways of how I can improve the therapy services for you guys. So look, all I wanted to do was just check base today, just to let you know that I am still alive, that I am still here. I want to get the relaxation evenings back going again. I know that how everybody really enjoyed those. I really enjoyed those when we had our first lockdown, I think it was, and maybe even the beginning of this year, I think it was, when I was still doing them. So I'm looking to perhaps introduce some of them back in again, have perhaps like one night a month or something where we can just all be together and just have a relaxation evening on Zoom. You know, don't have to be on camera, it just can be an audible thing, just so I can help bring something to you guys to help everyone just chill a little, because life has been so stressful, yeah. And now we're going back into this next cycle of bloody COVID and, you know, all of these things, the uncertainty of what lies ahead for us all. And, you know, we've got to all just keep ourselves positive. We've got to lift ourselves up where we can. And we've just got to keep ourselves going, because there's absolutely no point in doing anything else, is there? There's absolutely no point in worrying about what might happen, because it's not happened. And worrying about it is certainly not going to change any of that whatsoever. In fact, it's just going to make it worse, because it's going to make you feel worse, which in turn has really strong connections with your body. You know, we all think that it's okay to stress. It's become quite a natural part of our life, isn't it? We use that word too often. Oh, I'm just stressed. But like I say to all of my clients, if you actually realised what you physically did to your body when you allow yourself to become stressed, when you allow yourself to become tired and run down, if you knew actually what went on, I don't think you'd really do it. And it's interesting, a couple of clients in this last couple of weeks been talking about it, and I said, I wonder what would happen if we actually made our skin transparent. If we could be transparent so that everything we ate, everything we drank, everything that we felt, we could actually see the impact in our body, I wonder how that would change us. I wonder if we would all sit back and think of things differently. And I think it's because we can't see it that we just take no notice of it. We feel it sometimes, but we just don't take any notice of it. So I want you to start thinking about your self-care. I want you to start thinking about any areas in your life that you really need to work on, because it's important. It's really important this time of year. We're coming up to Christmas. Things start getting busy. Families all wanting to be together, you know, and that pull of sometimes everybody wanting a bit of you and you not having enough of you to go round. But just remember that it's okay to say no. It's okay for you to put you first. In fact, it's really important to put you first, because if you don't put you first, then what actually are you saying to yourself? That you're not worthy, that you're not good enough? And that's so not true, is it? So we have to work hard on understanding our yeses and our no's. And in fact, a really good trainer who I'm training with at the minute gave me this example the other week, and it was really good. We can say yes, and we can say yes quite easily to anything, but actually that yes doesn't really mean yes. Or we can say yes really, really enthusiastically, because that yes really means yes. And I thought, you know what, that's really good. And I look back on some of the things in my life and think the amount of times where I just say, or have just said in the past, yes, just because I wanted to people please. I wanted to make sure that other person was going to be happy. I didn't want to let them down, etc., etc. But actually, really, I meant no. But now it's really interesting, because whenever I go to say yes now, I'm asking myself, is this an enthusiastic yes, Nicola, or is this just a, okay, yes? And it was made a really big difference, you know, because you're bloody important. You really are important. And if you're not putting yourself top of your list, then you need to be working on that. You need to be sorting that out. And, you know, I've talked about this before, and this word selfish. Selfish doesn't mean egotistical. It doesn't mean that you have to be arrogant and horrible and all of those things that can be put into the word selfish. We don't have to be all of those things. But selfish is really important, because what selfish means is that actually you're speaking up for you. And maybe for some people, you may never have done that. Maybe for some of you, you've always allowed other people to speak for you, or you've just been that yes dog, that people pleaser, you know, because you just feel that it's something you have to do. So give it a go. You know, when you next say yes to something, check in with your own truth and ask yourself, was that an enthusiastic yes, or was that just a yes because I felt that I had to? And if it was one because you felt that you had to, either change it and retract that yes and say, actually, I really meant no, or learn from it so that next time you can actually make it an enthusiastic yes. So it's something I've been working on quite a lot actually in the therapy room recently. That and boundaries, boundaries, wow. And I'm starting to look at my own boundaries. My own boundaries have been a little bit, I'd say this to everyone. I may well be a therapist and I may know all this stuff. Doesn't mean I always get it right, because I'm human, not robot like you guys are. And boundaries sometimes can be very blurred, and we have to be very careful on our boundaries. And one of my boundaries is finding myself, and I'm sure you'll all resonate with this, finding myself looking through crap on bloody social media. And sometimes I can do it and think it's 10 minutes and like an hour's passed. And all right, I'm calling it crap. To be fair, most of my social media is therapy work, and I love it. I love reading about all my colleagues and the things that we've all been up to, etc., etc. It's great, but it still keeps me just scrolling through and not allowing me to be focused on what I need and what I need to do. So one of my boundaries is working to times, so that I give myself some time boundary, because I know that my family are important. I know that people need me as well as I need me for my business. So I'm looking at my time boundaries and the amount of times in my business that I spend squiffling away bloody hours because I'm just caught up in some scrolling frenzy, So yeah, boundaries. What's your boundaries? Have a look at yourself. Have a think, what do I find myself doing that actually brings me very little in return? Could be many, many things. Boundaries around sleep is something we talk a lot about in the therapy room. Since COVID, there seems to have been quite a lot of insomnia going on. I'm not really sure why. I think it's just because we all got knocked out of our routine and our bodies got knocked out of our routine. And sometimes when we're out of routine, we have to bring ourselves back into it. We have to find that routine again and make that routine again. So for people that are having issues sleeping, boundaries are really, really important. Really important. That phone down a minimum of an hour before you're even thinking about going to bed. Having that routine where perhaps you do a certain thing before you go to bed, so that the brain starts to learn that actually when I do this, what's going to follow is bed, and then what follows is sleep. And people get really frustrated when they're sitting in bed scrolling through Facebook or Instagram and reading all the crap that they're reading, and then turn it off and expect their head to go to sleep. That's just never going to happen, because that isn't how our brain works. Your brain's then processing all that information that it's just taken on. So boundaries, healthy boundaries are everywhere. They're in everything, everything that we do. So have a think about it. So self-care is really important. I kind of feel like I'm wittering a bit now, but you know me, if I get on one, then I get on one. But self-care is really important, and I want you to make it top of your list, and I want you to make you top of your list, because you are important, you are enough, and you deserve to love you. So that's kind of where I am at the moment. That's where my head is, just making sure that everybody out there is having a little bit of loving and a little bit of self-care and keeping themselves as well as what they can. So I'm going to have to go, because my hand is like frozen off now, because it is absolutely freezing. And I'll be checking in again real soon. Hopefully when things quieten down a little bit in the therapy room, I can start bringing in some more stuff. So I promise to be more interactive on the page, definitely more interactive. Pops again this way, definitely more interactive next year as I set my boundaries in, so I can bring you guys some more time. Okay, so I hope everybody's well. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening, and I will catch up with you all soon. And if you can, and if where you are it's nice and sunny like it is here, if you can, get outside and just enjoy a little bit of this beautiful weather, but make sure you wrap up warm, because it is pretty cold. Okay, I'm Nicola from NJM Counselling and Hypnotherapy. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch up with you soon. Take care. Bye.